It's just a real solid stuff. It just makes the well, it's 2-3 weeks. Oh no, oh you actually maybe you could push it based on
Yeah, I'm sure that. Hey, what are you going to go for?
I just didn't know which side he was going to sit I've lifted about 40 places, but I know that I'm not scared. Where's this big? And I was like, black bag. But there's two. And the only reason I noticed when I saw it, I was like, what is it in my shower? It's just the charger.
I mean, talk.
Welcome everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dorothy Priest. I'm a member of this church and a friend of Lynn and Ross. Lynn put this job onto me about a year ago. She was a very organised lady, and it is my absolute privilege and honour to represent my church today and to do this for Lynn. First, we're going to sit quietly and listen to Lynn's chosen piece of music to start this service. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Julie. On behalf of Ross and Ben and Tarnette, thank you all for coming today. Your presence here means a lot to them. Please make sure you sign the memory book, and please stay for refreshments after the service. Friends, we are here to celebrate the life of this courageous lady, Lynnette Susan Hickey. Lynn to most of us, Linny to Ben and Tarnette, and to her grandchildren, Ra, Harry and Tom, and to Ross, the love of his life. We're here because, in one way or another, Lynn's life has touched us all. We're here to support Ross and the family in their grieving and to show our love for them. We come to reflect on a wonderful life well lived, to remember the beautiful, stately lady that we have all known and loved. A lady who loved nothing more than to wear a beautiful gown and a pretty scarf and to go out and about. A lady whose presence seemed to radiate strength and peace. At times like this, it's not easy to find the words to say what we are feeling. Perhaps this time of remembrance will help us all to work through those feelings. Now, Ross has asked me to tell you that there are seats at the front here if people would like to come forward and sit in the church. Lynn was a faithful member of the church fellowship here, but I came to know her better through the church op shop. I'm sure many of you know her much better than I do, and for much longer than I have. At first, Lynn said she couldn't be one of our volunteers because she just couldn't resist buying clothes. But then we said to her, Lynn, you're here every day anyway. You might as well help us. And so she did. It was there, in the conversations that we had, that we all came to see what a treasure she was. I've never met anyone so absolutely accepting of every person, so non-judgmental, so ready to say a word in their defence if she felt we were not giving someone proper respect. We came to hear some of Lynn's story, how she'd been a teacher and then a counsellor for young men who needed guidance, needed someone to listen to them, someone to show them respect. I have tremendous respect for this lovely lady, and that respect has grown as I've seen the way she faced her illness. Always her thoughts were not for herself, but for others around her. Last Christmas we went from here to Lynn and Ross to sing carols for them at their home. Lynn was all dressed up in her Christmas finery and waiting impatiently for us to come. We were a bit late. She was miffed. Who did you go to first? And she insisted on coming outside to sing with us, although it was a struggle for her at that time. And when we left, we looked at one another and said, we feel really blessed. We went to bring blessings to her, and we were blessed. And I'm sure many of you will have felt that way too. Now I'm going to call on Ben and Tarnett to bring the eulogy.
Hi everyone. I just want to thank you all for travelling so far. For those of you that have come, and it's just been so special to see family friends here from all the years. So thank you. Okay, this is from Ross. A few words from Ross. Hi folks. I've decided not to speak because I'm too emotional and may burst into tears. Big boys don't cry. Thank you all for turning up today to honour Lynn's passing. I feel very humbled and proud that you admired and loved Lynn so much to make the effort to be here. I would like to say I was very fortunate that Lynn chose me to be her husband. On our journey for 57 years, we had quite a few fights and disagreements, but tons of fun, adventures and love. Lynn was a talented, intelligent and extremely modest woman. She lived life to the full and I'm very proud of her. Good on you, Lynn. I wish your next adventure to be as amazing as this one. Love forever, Ross. And this one's from me. Hello, I'm Lynn's daughter Tarnette, for those of you that don't know. Lynnie wasn't your average Australian New Zealand girl. The first image that I have in my mind for Lynn is Queen. Queen of the family. Queen of integrity. Queen of generosity. Queen of celebrations. Queen of champagne with bows. Queen of Christmas crackers and Christmas trees. Queen of orchids. Queen of Crown Lynn pottery. Queen of silk scarves. Queen of jewellery and dresses. Queen of ocean boat tours. Queen of op shops. Queen of divine food. Queen of cafes and perked coffee in an aluminium pot on the stove. And queen of amazing friends. As her daughter, I just want to say thank you, Lynnie, for all the support and love you have given to myself and Ra over all these years. And now, Lynnie, I want to farewell you on your next adventure. Wishing you such a magical journey wherever you decide to fly next. Ara Hanoi, I love you, Lynn.
Right.
I'm Lynnie's favourite son, Ben. So, putting this together has been a joyful week with a few tears. It's Ross has helped me pull this together because I wasn't there for all the chapters. But we've just tried to pull together a bit of the highlights reel from Lynnie's 80 years. But we've missed out a huge amount because she just lived such a full life that to try and put it all into a little speech was almost impossible. So we've got a bit of a highlights reel here, and hope it just brings to life how the family, some of the joys and moments that the family shared with Lynnie over the years. So 28th of December 1942. Oh, one other thing, you're allowed to laugh as loud as you like, or have a cry or clap or whatever you want. You know how Lynnie expressed her emotions, so let it go. So 28th of December 1942, a vastly different world than the one we know now. World War II was raging, men were fighting in the trenches, and women were picking up spanners and fencing equipment to help with the war effort. It was a time of global turmoil and the eve of revolutionary change. What better time could there be for the world for Lynn Hickey to be born? The only daughter of Dos and Vic Whitehead, Lynn was born in Sydney, where she received a private school upbringing as a result of topping a state school entrance exam of the tender age of 5. Lynn enjoyed her life in the quaint sunny suburbs of Sydney, where the sun shone most days and the teachers fed her love of learning with its interesting and challenging tasks. It was quite the shock when the family emigrated to New Zealand, when Lynn found herself in the windy and mostly cold town of Nainai in windy Wellington. She was 13. On her first day of her new school, Nainai College, 6 boys were caned in front of Lynn for little reason. Lynn was both terrified and horrified, a cultural shock to say the least. It was likely here that Lynn's abhorrence to abuse of power and authority began, and her voice for what was right and just grew. Before Lynn's 9i schooling had finished, she had led students to protests against the use of caning and won high status amongst fellow students and many of the teachers for her stance. Well, of course, putting a few noses out of joint from the establishment along the way. That was our Lynnie to the core. Brave, strong, and prepared to fight hard for what she believed in. After finishing school, it was time for Lynnie to join the workforce. Somehow she decided that banking might be a good gig for her. Maybe it was the glasses she wore that she thought might be a good fit. We can see no other reason for it. I think she too soon realised that there are more important vocation and challenges in life to get busy with. And the real win from the couple of years as a teller for BNZ was the great friendship she had made with Pam Waring, one of Lynn's lifelong friends. So after a rethink, Lynn decided a career in teaching would be a worthy calling and signed up for Teachers College. She absolutely loved Teachers College, the course and the idea of having a positive influence on young minds. Lynn was particularly happy when at the age of 21 and with a reputable career on offer, her parents finally allowed her to leave home for a teaching role in Gisborne. Here she fell in love with teaching, but she felt a bit isolated and far from home. 2 years later, Lynn took up a role at Masterton College. It was here that Lynn met a very handsome PE teacher with fiery red hair and a decent set of pins, who could run like the wind. Little did she know when he asked her to the dance that this man Ross would soon become her life companion, partner in crime, and best friend for the next 59 years. I think Lynnette and Ross deserve a clap for that one. So after a whirlwind romance, Lynn and Ross were married and soon ready to embark on their first great adventure together, the Big OE. 6 weeks on a boat heading to Europe, and that's how people travelled that day in the 60s. It was a profound time for Lynn and Ross. No doubt this is where they fell in love with the concept of cruise ships. a rolling party where they met lifelong friends, and a great illustration of how Lynnie lived her life. For Lynn, it was never about the destination, it was all about the journey. Once in the UK, Lynn and Ross would work for a term teaching to earn some money, and then they'd travel through Europe until their funds were exhausted, and they'd start the cycle again, planning their new adventure. What an amazing time they had, discovering the many wonders of Europe and the UK, while of course growing their collection of lifetime friends. And great to see you in the room, Gayleen. At one stage, they found themselves in a Scottish coal mining town in Drongan. The students at the school were very poor. Much like 9i College, canings were the primary source of influencing these young children. Lynn was appalled by the limited opportunities these young students had, so Lynn and Ross quickly put forward ideas to bring vibrancy and positivity to the school program. One such initiative was to arrange a field trip to a film set for Dr. Finlay's Casebook, a popular British TV series at the time. Did someone recognise it? Excellent. Off they went. 90 kids piled into 2 buses for the 70k journey. It was a hugely successful day, and the kids absolutely loved it. On the way home, Ross and Lynn asked the driver to pull the buses over in one of the local townships so the kids could stretch their legs and the teachers could sample a local brew and bask in the success of their day. Not long after, they were back in the bus and nearing home. The police pulled the buses over. As the police boarded the buses, the kids all scrambled for their bags to throw their stolen loot out the windows. In the time it had taken Lynn and Ross to enjoy a beer at the local village had been robbed blind. When Ross and Lynn left Drongan, the school staff had farewell drinks for them, which was from 3 till 5. When they finally left, and after pleasant goodbyes, they went to drive home. It was only then that they realised that 200 kids had been waiting. You can read that.
Weird. 200 school kids had been waiting for them outside in the cold and dark so they could sing them goodbye. Such was the love the kids had developed for Lynn and Ross during their stay.
All right, I'm back. Right. Shortly after Lynn finds herself pregnant, and they decided it's time to put the travel adventure on hold and head back to New Zealand to raise their family. On March the 6th, 1971 in Pukekohe, this lovely woman to my right, Lynnette, was born, and the Hickey family was officially open for business. I popped out 18 months later. By this stage, Lynn and Ross decided Christchurch was the place to be, so Ross could further his counselling and education, and they could have the opportunity to collect a number of new lifelong friends. And we're fortunate to have the clowns in the room today. Once Lynn and Ross had collected enough South Island mates, it was time to head back to Auckland to make more friends, and where Ross had a role teaching at Avondale College as one of the first ever appointed school counsellors, and of course to collect these wonderful friends, and great to see the Prebles in the house today. Lynn was a full-time mother at this stage, and what a great mother she was. Not a day would go by without an adventure to be had or a lesson to be learned. One lesson I learned early, and Lynn probably should have known, is that cardboard boxes can't take kids down rivers very far. But whether it was making a kite to fly or a family meal, it was done with passion, love, and a big dose of Linny magic. In the Hickey household, you were encouraged to have your own opinion and free your mind, but I found it safer to generally side with Lynn. That's why I'm her favourite son. The Springbok tour of 81 was quite the clash of opinions in the Hickey household. Roscoe had prime tickets to the game, and Lynn and myself were making placards for the protest. Lynn and Ross agreed to disagree and respect each other's positions, and join after the game for a lovely dinner. Lynn, being Lynn, had only invited active protesters to the dinner, which meant a long night and a very quiet night for Ross Hickey at the end of the table. Once Sani and I had reached school age, Lynn decided to hit the workforce once more. She was interested in helping underprivileged kids and took a position focused on helping troubled young school leavers with finding jobs or suitable training careers. Lynn loved this job and helped many troubled youth find both direction and a paying job. And for many, many years after, people would track Lynn down to thank her for changing their lives. It was only when the government of the time decided that such programs were a waste of money that Lynn decided to leave the vocation of teaching. Lynn decided that a social worker would be the next chapter where she could live her dream and help contribute to the community. And it just so happened she was able to collect more lifelong friends along the way. It was a career that spanned 25 years, largely supporting the West Auckland community for Waitakere Hospital. Many were elderly, and many a morning would I wake with Linny shedding a tear for one of her clients who had recently passed. I think it was at this stage where Lynn became more aware and more comfortable with death. I think she also became more afraid of not squeezing every last piece of joy out of every minute of every day. So when Lynn was the very last social worker supporting West Auckland from an original team of 12, and they disestablished the role at Lynn was at age 64, her and Ross decided it was time to get busy living. They sat me down and they said, we only have 5 good years of travel ahead of us, Ben. We're going to cash in all our super and we're going to go for it. And go for it they did. 5 years later, they sat me down and they said, We only have 10 more good years of travel ahead of us, Ben. We're going to sell one of the rental properties and go for it. And go for it they did. Cruise ships were Lynn and Ross's choice of travel. The perfect blend. Bridge and formal dinners for our Linny. And sports and casinos for the king of the Texas Hold'em table, Roscoe. Once platinum partners, which you received if you spend over 90 nights a year on the Carnival cruise ships, you got to sit at special tables for these formal events. One cruise had 19 formal events, which meant 19 unique outfits required for Linny. It took 3 people to get her luggage onto the boat. Another cute story was when Lynn and Ross went to a show after dinner. Ross had had a few drinks and he started to nod off. When he woke up, he wanted to let Linny know that he was actively participating in the show. So he very gently went to give her bottom a nice little friendly squeeze, and his hand was slapped away quite vigorously. He thought, gee, I must have been snoring or something. That's not the normal reaction. So he went back in with his charming arm, sliding down to give Lynn a nice little rub. And a very terse male voice turned around and said, please take your hand off my bottom. Linny was obviously on the other side. But she has enjoyed many a time relaying that story, crying with laughter over the years. So, 13 world tours, ranging from 6 weeks to 6 months, and only reluctantly stopping due to a bloody annoying intervention called COVID, were Lynn and Ross forced to temporarily stop travelling. However, it was only 4 weeks ago that Lynn advised Ross that she was booking a new cruise ship. Ross thought she was joking, but a couple of days later he realised she was 100% serious about starting a new adventure. We believe that living in Oceans Resort is about as close to living on a cruise ship you could get for Lynn and Ross. A rolling party and the opportunity to collect many more lifelong friends. Lynn loved her Whitianga home and community, meeting many dear friends and having an absolute blast. The kindness and the support she received with this new friendship has been absolutely incredible, and we'd like to just thank this community for being so amazing. Special shout out to the caregivers, Char, Trish and Jean. You guys really made Lynn's last couple of years absolutely more than bearable. She loved it. Amazing with the limitations that Linny had, how she could get so much joy out of the last 2 years, but she absolutely did. 5 weeks ago when I saw Linny, she was off to the pink ribbon ball right here in this church. She was so excited to get dressed up in her pink outfit, and it was like being around a young person going to their first ball. We had photo shoots, and when she saw the photos, she went through Messenger and she sent them to everyone, saying, look at me. I've absolutely loved hearing the stories of how Lynn lived her last couple of days out on her scooter, attending Christmas parades, out shopping, and of course lunch with friends. Linny, we love you, we will miss you, but you will live in our hearts forever. Thank you, Linny.
Yay! Well done, mate. Well done. Well done, sweetheart.
I do have to advise you, if you come up here, there is a granny trap, a step that will trip you up if you're not careful. No, I think the grandchildren also would like to bring a eulogy. Or something to say. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Ra, Lynn's granddaughter and favourite. I just wrote a small thing the night I found out, and I just wanted everyone to just hear it and also hopefully relate. So, where to start? Lynn taught me a lot. She taught me how to enjoy. Enjoy food, enjoy company, enjoy family, enjoy love, and enjoy celebration. She was always the best at celebrating. She celebrated love, she celebrated life, and she celebrated every success, big or small. And she celebrated failures, always recognizing them, but reminding me of an underlying lesson that they always presented. She knew how to love every single one of us equally, but for our own differences, strengths, and weaknesses. The older I got, the more I learnt from Lynn. I understood Lynn, I related to Lynn. Our nanny Lynn was a good woman, a strong woman, and a beautiful woman. She always knew which restaurant or cafe we should eat lunch at. She always knew what time was the best time to leave so that we would never be late. And she always knew what accessories to wear to make sure she got the right amount of compliments. Nanny Lynn was never afraid to speak her mind, which means she always blessed us with an honest love and the kind of love you never had to doubt. She was kind, loving, stylish, fierce, intelligent, and reliable. A woman who constantly reminded me how proud she was of me and supported me through every new path and endeavour I embarked on. I feel honoured to have known her and to have loved her for the past 26 years. And I feel blessed that even though she's not here in body anymore, she lives on in spirit and in all the memories we all undoubtedly share with her.
Hi everyone, my name's Harry. I'm Linny's eldest grandson. Our lovely Linny was a compassionate, positive and wise grandmother who always had a comforting presence. She loved to spoil us rotten and had a gift to give for everyone on any occasion, but was not afraid to keep us in line when we needed it. Linny embodied the phrase all or nothing. She loved celebrations and was not one to do something by halves. As a child, Christmases at Lynn and Ross's house were some of the most magical and memorable thanks to our Linny. One of my earliest memories of Christmas with Lynn and Ross is when Lynn had the idea of laying a trail of half-eaten carrots and artificial snowflakes from my bed to the Christmas tree. In the morning, I was marvelled by how the big man in red had been able to let himself and all 9 of his reindeer in through the back door without my knowing. I thank Lynn for this cool memory, as the magic of Father Christmas was short-lived when a year later I caught Ben tucking into the beer and bickies I'd left out for Santa, not him. Even though I was only a part of the later chapters of her life, I'm grateful to have had her in some of the best chapters of mine. Thank you for the unwavering support you gave us all, Linny. I will miss your late-night words of wisdom and your warming laugh and comforting hugs. Love you always.
Oh, Harry,
Hello everyone, I'm Tom, Linny's youngest and favourite, I believe, grandson. Our grandmother was many great things. She was supportive, she was passionate, she was loving, she was very kind-hearted, and I remember this when in the 2015 World Cup final, Dad had some less pleasant words for the referee when Ben Smith was yellow carded. But our Linny tolerated no such slander in her household, and he was very quickly put back in his box. But the first term that came to my mind when I was writing this speech was selfless. Looking back, I genuinely believe that she was at her happiest when she was bringing joy to others. You can clearly see this through all the hours she spent giving other people in less fortunate positions joy, whether as a social worker, a teacher, or volunteering at the soup kitchen. However, a few personal memories I'd like to share of when Linny would have the biggest smile on her face, and surprise, surprise, these were the moments where she had put the biggest smile on mine. Such as when she took me up to the Sky Tower for dinner with a wicked view on my 9th birthday. This was a great night for me, even if I was too scared to order the spaghetti in case I slept in front of her. All the time she took me to the theatre to watch the Shaolin monks perform because she knew I was obsessed with Kung Fu. And she hit the mark because, again, I had a great time. Or whether it was simply going the extra mile to keep me entertained. Whenever we spent time together in the holidays, We'd play snap until our hands went red. We'd break all sorts of different treats. We'd play snake and ladders for hours, and especially in the festive season, we'd write countless birthday and Christmas cards. She'd also have us writing on balls our names and the year we'd write these messages to hang on the tree. But she never threw these out, and every Christmas we'd have more and more memories that we'd hang up. So thank you, Linny, for all the great times of laughter, joy, and love. I'll always remember them, and love, Tom. Thank you. Now, Mum's going to come up for a reading.
Well done, Aaron. No.
Well, I think it's pretty clear to everyone here that Lynn, beautiful Lynn Hickey, squeezed every ounce of joy out of her life, and it was always punctuated with squeals of laughter. And I think it is entirely appropriate that at the entrance today there's a magnificent Christmas tree. Christmas was absolutely Lynn's favourite time of year. A joy that she passed to Tom Hickey, yes, to the extent that if I don't get the tree up early enough, or dress the tree appropriately, or acknowledge the presence of Christmas at least a month prior, I get in very, very big trouble. A friend passed a reading on to us which really resonated, and so I'd like to read that today. She is gone. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she would want, smile, open your eyes, love and go on.
Over the past couple of days, Roscoe, Ben and Tana have received many wonderful messages, and Ross today has just asked me to read a couple special ones. So here are some words of Linny's very long friend Evelyn. Dearest Lynn, for half a century we shared much learning, dancing, tears, and the best of all, laughter. When you laugh with all of you, an abandonment of the art. In the dark, we dance to diamonds on the soul's virtues, holding candles to light the way. You don't need a candle, Lynn. You'll be lighting your own way to whatever is next. Your inner light will be all you need with your presence. You have been a light in the fog for many while you have graced us with your presence. Thank you for touching my life with your energy, your love and laughter. We all know that energy is never lost. Yours goes on and on. Things are different now, but you will always be with those of us who are lucky enough to know you and love you. Love, Evelyn. Thank you. And now there's one more which I've just got to pull up. We didn't reach the printing machine in time, so this one's going to be read straight from the text. But this is from Teresa, Lenny's long friend again. I'm just gonna. I wanted to tell you both, being Ben and Tane, that I spent an hour or so with your mum last Sunday, Arvo, while Ross was at Bowls. She was in great spirits and had a lovely weekend going to the street market and Christmas parade. She told me she just loved being outside in the fresh air and so enjoyed the freedom she felt riding around on her scooter. She showed me photos of your beautiful roses, Tane and Ra's silver jewellery, She was very proud of her Tom and Harry and both of you, and always spoke so highly of her family. I felt very honoured that I was one of the last people to spend time with her, and I told her how amazing and positive she was and what a great attitude she had. She said she just loved people and was so grateful for everything. I've spent a bit of time with her over the past couple of years and got to know her very well, and she has taught me a lot with her wise words and gentle way. I hope all the memories you have keep her close to your heart always. Hope all goes well tomorrow, and we will be there in spirit. Not spirit. Love, Teresa and Graham.
Hey, well done.
Now, there is another piece of music that Lynn would like us to listen to, and that is Howard Morrison's Hakari Amai. Have we got that, Julie? After this, I'll get anyone else who would like to come and say a few words. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, it's not? You're right. Sorry.
I see the sun. I hear the rolling thunder. Thy power, the universe displayed. For God Hickey, please don't go on the job. I'll be your dad. Aki honu takai hono, te humana ki ata. Aki honu takai hono, te humori ki te humora. Kia koto te humora, kia ukanga ta reuga toa.
Isn't that lovely? Who would like to come? The floor is open now, open mic time, if anyone would like to come and say a few words. Just please be aware of these steps.
Mine's going to be a bit brief because it's the same reading, so that's a help. But I'm Paula. 21 years ago at the Dinosaur Park in Wanaka, my then 4 youngest daughter, who was 4, befriended Ra. And we have been lifelong friends since. And through that, we also met, of course, Lynnie and Ross. And in that time, they were also my landlords for 14 years. And the most fabulous of landlords. But last Friday, since leaving Wanaka 7 years ago, Lynn has always sent me messages. Last Friday I received a message from them, which read, "Into the garden I go, to lose my mind and find my soul." I guess, Lynn, you have now found your garden, in which you may now rest in peace. We will smile, open our eyes, love and go on. Thank you, Lynn, for being the fabulously wonderful you. Much love, Joan and all.
Hi, I'm Judy. When we were teenagers, many long years ago, several people in this room and I met Ross at university. And he was universally loved. I met Lynn on their wedding day. My first thought was how lucky, and perhaps how brave, she was to marry Ross. Over the years, as I got to know Lynn, both here and overseas, and I know Ross will agree with this, I realised actually how lucky he was to marry Lynn. When I think of Lynn, the first thing that comes to mind is her laughter. She was so positive and honest, and she loved many things. Firstly, Ross. What a wonderful caregiver he has been. She loved and appreciated him. We're so proud of you, Ross. Ben, her children and grandchildren. She was so proud of Ben and Tarnette, the adults you've become and the choices you've made in your lives. She loved and appreciated her many friends. She loved living in Whitianga. She found her place and her people, and especially the complex that they lived in. So often she said that she felt truly blessed to have the support that her neighbours had given her. I can't imagine a Ross without a Lynn, and I'm sure many of you cannot either. Lynn and I frequently messaged each other. The last message I got from her on the 2nd read, 3 wise women would have asked directions, arrived on time, delivered the baby, cleaned the stable, made a casserole, and there would be peace on earth. There was one poem that we shared that we both loved. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the giant heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world, and I'm free. Goodbye, Lynn. I'll miss you.
Hello, Ross. Hello, my name's Martha. I didn't expect to speak today, but now I feel like I should. So I met Lynn and Ross through my work, and I work at the cafe, and they quickly became my favourite customers. And I met them when I was going through a very hard time, and I guess, as everyone knows, they're very good at dealing with people going through hard times. And I would always look forward to seeing both of them. And I loved her fashion, and I loved her accessories as well, and we'd exchange our compliments. But when I was going through a very hard time and I hadn't found somewhere to live yet, I was going through a few different places. Ross and Lynn offered to take me in, and I just wanted to say thank you for that, and thank you, Lynn and Ross, for listening and for caring. And I'm sorry for your loss, Ross, but I'm very grateful for Lynn and yourself. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
The Bible reading that Lynn has chosen is absolutely demonstrating her love and respect for other people. The service sheet says that Caitlin, Kathy and Dean are going to bring this reading.
Hi, I'm Dean Clowes, and 50-something years ago, when Ross and Lynn moved to Christchurch, they became lifetime friends of my parents. And so I've grown up with the Hickey family, and Lynn was always, I want to say, so welcoming to us and to my now family, that we feel part of the Hickey family. You know, so much so that on Lynn's 80th birthday, she had a fantastic party at the bike park, which I found out later was for family only. And yet, you know, she was so special, she called us and said, you're a part of the family. You have to be there. That's how amazing Lynnie is, how amazing Lynnie was. Now, my sister Kim, I want to share with you, she wanted to be here today. She left a note here that she really wanted to be here, and to please give you, Ross, Tanette and Ben a big hug from her, and apologies for not being here. She will definitely be online with a candle though, and she's also left a message for us to write on in his casket, which we've done. Now we've got a reading here that we're going to read together.
It's in large print. 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4 to 8. Love is patient and kind. It is not jealous or conceited or proud. Love is not ill-mannered or selfish or irritable.
Love does not keep a record of wrongs. Love is not happy with evil, but is happy with the truth.
Love never gives up, and its faith, hope, and patience never fail. Love is eternal.
We'll miss you, Lenny.
think my service sheet has just been pinched. We're now going to sing Amazing Grace. We're going to stand to sing, and I'm told to warn you that there is no introduction, we're straight into it. And the words are on your service sheet. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thanks, Sarah.
Now we're going to spend a few moments looking at the family photos and reflecting on our own memories of Lynn. There is one more short Bible reading that I want to share with you. It's from John's Gospel, chapter 14. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, so that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going. Thomas said to him, Lord, we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way? Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you have seen me, you have seen the Father. Just a short prayer. Dear Lord, as we live our dear sister Lynn in your loving care, restore in us the sure knowledge that death is not the end. Give us the wisdom to grieve well. Give us the strength and courage to face the changes that Lynn's passing will bring to all of our lives. And so bless us with your peace, we pray. Now will you please stand for the words of committal. We now say goodbye to the mortal body of our dear sister Lynn. Her human frame has served the purpose for which it was so wonderfully made. And so in love and with utmost respect, we commit her body to return to the elements of the earth, the same elements that make the stars and the planets. Lynn in her essential self lives on, and we commit her spirit into the care of her Creator, the one who loves her beyond imagining, to be free of pain and to live in peace with her eternal Father. Rest in peace.